Hey there, I'm Dan Martell, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. In this episode, I'm going to share with you the exact process to create a setup fee, or sometimes called an implementation fee, for your SaaS product, so you can get paid by your customer to help them activate and deploy your solution. Be sure to stay to the end because I'm going to tell you how to download and get access to an exclusive resource. It's called the Setup Fee Designer, which goes through all the characteristics, how to name it, the different strategies for doing that. Super easy, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Let's get into it. So if you have a software product and you're selling for anything north of $97 a month kind of reoccurring revenue, then you have an opportunity, maybe even on the low end, okay? I've just never done it, to charge your customer an upfront implementation fee. That's what it's usually called, or maybe a setup fee. Essentially, it's some dollar amount that you can, convince your customers to pay to help them deploy your solution, which I know in this world, a lot of you guys have these beliefs that but why would they pay for that? Shouldn't the product be simple? Doesn't that tell them that maybe it's complicated and they're not gonna get the results they're expecting, or maybe they should keep looking for somebody else? But here's what I've discovered. And I've been doing this now for over 20 years. Back in the day when I was helping my brother buy an email marketing platform, I call it Confusionsoft, but it's Infusionsoft. They were charging $2,000 to just essentially get access to it. He did a sales call and then he called me and he's like, they want to charge me $2,000 to buy the software. Like, they want to charge me to pay for the software. And the reason why is because they knew that the onboarding experience was going to take some configuration. And it was really neat the way they set it up, because they essentially had a partner network of consultants that were like certified Infusionsoft experts that would do the setup for free with the possibility of selling their services after the fact. And that's why they got customers to make that investment. And I love that strategy. It's something that I've implemented in most of my SaaS companies. I've helped hundreds of my coaching clients implement it into their business. And the reason why it's so powerful is it literally can fund your growth if you set it up right. I know that I have one of the companies in my portfolio. We charge, I think it's $1,000 setup fee, and the sales rep gets 70% of that. So that means that I don't have to pay sales commission. They get it from the setup fee. I still have $300 out of that setup fee to go acquire the lead and the opportunity, which we're able to do it for less than that. So that way I have a positive sales cycle and flywheel going, because the setup fee pays for the sales reps activity, it pays for the marketing team's acquisition, and then everything else from a recurring revenue hits the bottom line. And it is so powerful, okay? It could be a game changer for your business, but if you do it wrong, then you're gonna stop, you're not gonna get the sale. If you set the wrong setup fee, you're not gonna get the sale. So I wanna walk you through 5 different strategies to do it right so that you get customers buying every time, and the best part is they'll be excited to buy it from you because you're gonna help them be more successful and solve their biggest problems. Let's get into it. Number 1 is to name it. You gotta give it a cool name. Don't just think, I'm gonna call it a setup fee. Clients don't wanna pay for a setup fee. They want to know that this thing is solving the problem, right? So with HubSpot, for example, if you've ever bought HubSpot, they call it a coaching fee, right? They want to sell you coaching to ensure you deploy their technology, their product. And the reason why is because most people buying complicated configuration-based solutions like a CRM, financial applications, ERP solutions, you name it, their biggest fear is not, does your product do what you say it's gonna do? It's them not getting it deployed, and then their boss getting mad at them because they didn't get success. So you need to give it a name that solves the biggest concern they have. So you can call it an implementation fee, you can call it a coaching fee, you could call it an activation fee, you could call it a data migration fee, whatever it is. Give the name to make it seem part of the process for the customers to get the value. Number 2, price to value. So oftentimes, my clients specifically, they don't understand the value they're creating, not the cost. Some of them are like, well, I know I can pay a team of people, $100 to migrate our client's data. right? But that's not the value. It's not what you can pay because you've gone through the work to build a team and maybe a more advantageous part of the world. It's what's the value to the customer and how do you present that value to a customer? Because they can do it themselves. Or you can charge for it, a migration fee to get everything moved over. And the beauty of it is you're gonna get it done way faster. So you gotta price the value you're creating, not your cost. It's not a cost plus scenario. It's what kind of value. And the more people pay, the more that they're gonna pay attention. So sometimes you wanna test out 2,000, not just 1,000. You might test out 1,500. You might even try 5,000. But getting, especially if your customers are bigger, because they won't even blink at that, right? And then you get them committed to the solution. Then you could even charge, and my favorite thing is annual contracts. Side tangent, gonna leave that one there. But it gives you the opportunity to really get commitment from the customer because you're pricing the value, not your cost. So be sure, like if you have, sometimes it requires custom development and some people just like charge the engineering time that you're paying your consultants or your developers. That's not the way to do it. Most people, if they hire, a developer, they don't even know if they're good. You've got people that know your stack, know your APIs, know your frameworks, understand the customer segments you serve, and can deploy this with a guarantee. Then $250 an hour for custom stuff is probably a better bet, at least $150 an hour, but you don't want to charge $35 because that's what you pay your engineers. So the price to value is a key point. Number 3 is the offer map. So the way I think about it is you want to go from like, where are they at your customers today? Where do you want them to get? Okay, ideally first value, you want to get them to some kind of core value. And then what you do is you map out all the steps that would require them to do that. I have a friend, Nathan Barry, who's got ConvertKit, which is an email marketing platform. And one of the things they did in the early days is they would migrate their customers over to their platform. Why? Well, if I've connected all these forms on my website, my marketing funnels, to an existing product, and you're asking me, like, I believe that you have a better solution, but I know the effort involved to migrating is all this extra stuff. I mean, that's a big ask. So you want to start thinking about like, okay, can I charge, let's do a package, which is the data migration and then the configuration, customization. Maybe you have designers on staff that understand your templating language, and you could provide an offer that gets them to copy their brands and customize all their templates. Maybe there's some training or best practices you can offer to make sure that their team gets trained. See, that's another thing is if it's a product that's going to be deployed to a department and you have the opportunity to sell them on some training, then why wouldn't you? Because at the end of the day, SaaS shouldn't stand for software as a service. It should stand for success as a service, and you want to design an offer that gets them to guaranteed success. Number 4 is trade urgency. The biggest thing that I've discovered that gets people excited about investing in, see the word I use, investing in, your implementation fee, your setup fee, whatever you want to call it, is the idea that they're going to be able to get an outcome faster. So you want to trade urgency, okay? And maybe you actually have like limited supply of how many clients you can help. And that's a thing that your enrollment specialists or your salespeople or whatever you call them, product specialists, can communicate and say, hey, over the next quarter, we only have 2 more slots to get people into our data migration process. So if you want to do that, this is what it's going to look like. So you trade urgency to get your solution deployed faster, because if they're bought into the outcome, they're bought into the solution, then you want to make sure you can push that along. Trade urgency. Number 5 is test it, okay? Some of you guys are listening to this going like, there's no way my clients would pay that. There's no way. What if our conversions go from 30% down to 2%? I can't afford to do that. Test it. Literally, create an offer. Have one of your sales rep watch this and listen to this and design an offer and price it. Start on the bottom if you want and test it with the next 5 calls. Not all your calls, maybe a small percent, maybe 5%, 10% of your calls, to see if they can get people to enroll. And the reality of it is maybe, where you used to get 10 enrollments, you only get 9 or 8, but the ROI of that implementation fee, that setup fee, is going to fund the commissions, it's going to fund your growth, and it's going to allow you, if you're bootstrapped, to keep being bootstrapped a lot longer. If you're funded, to show better unit economics for your investors and to build a better business. So test it, try it out, and just say, when you're on the call, it's like, hey, the investment is $2,000 for a coaching fee, and then $350 a month for the first 12 months. And like, just say it natural. Why do you guys charge a coaching fee? Here's my favorite answer. I don't know, it's always been that way. That's the best answer to give to somebody that asks you if you're dealing with that objection, but just go out and test it. So quick recap, the 5 characteristics of an implementation fee. We gotta do one is we gotta name it. Number 2, we gotta price to value. Number 3, we gotta create an offer map. Number 4, we wanna trade urgency, essentially speed. And number 5, we wanna test it, get it out there today. You can literally get this deployed today. As I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I want to share with you an exclusive resource. It's my setup fee designer. It's the specific framework that I use with my coaching clients to outline not only the creative names that I've given, there's a bunch of examples, all the different types of services that you can offer as part of the fee, and then also how to go out there and test it, identify a sales rep, and make it real. Don't sit on it. Click the link below, download my setup fee designer template so you can get things going today. Click the link below. It's your copy as a gift to you. And as per usual, I want to encourage you, if you like this video, please click the subscribe button, click the like button, and leave a comment. Let me know, what was the number 1 takeaway that you got from this video? And I want to challenge you always to build a bigger life and build a bigger business. Both of those in tandem. I'll see you next Monday.